Hello and welcome to another episode of Frightfully Forgotten. What are we drinking today, Adam?
Today we are drinking Tarman.
Ooh,
Fresh out of the canister. It is a Imperial Black IPA. If you want the recipe, click the link above us right now.
Today we're going to bring to you 1974's Phantom of the Paradise. This movie was directed and written by Brian De Palma. He's done Scarface, Carrie, and he's done The Untouchables, just to mention three. It stars Paul Williams. He's still alive, mind you.
Yeah.
There's a documentary about that. Jessica Harper is in this too, and she was in Suspiria. William Finley is in this, and he was Marco the Magnificent in Funhouse. He was also in Eaten Alive.
Phantom of the Paradise starts off with this famous, mysterious music producer. He wants to open up a rock mecca venue called the Paradise, and he's looking for the proper music, and he's holding auditions. Starts off with the Juicy Fruits playing a song called Goodbye Eddie Goodbye. Kind of a neat scene because if you watch it enough times, you always catch things in the background happening.
Right.
It's a great tune.
It is good.
Yeah, it's a good tune.
Yeah.
Swan likes it too. Winslow Leach wheels his lone piano onto the audition stage. No one's even really paying attention. Swan is talking to his lackey, Philbin. Leach sits behind the piano and starts playing the song Faust, a rock cantata version of the story of Faust, which is about a German magician who sells his soul to the devil for unworldly power. Swan hears this music and falls in love with it. He decides this is the music to open up the Paradise. But he doesn't necessarily want Winslow.
Yeah, exactly.
He just wants the music. So he sends his lackey, Philman, to go tell Winslow that they want the music. And the Juicy Fruits are going to love playing it. I will not let my music be mutilated by those greaseballs!
Yeah.
So Philman kind of tells a bit of a white lie. We're going to produce your first record. And walks away with all this music that Winslow has written. A month goes by and Winslow has heard nothing. He goes to Swan's Death Records, which is the name of his record label.
Which is cool, eh?
Yeah, the dead bird on his back.
His feet.
Yeah. He has his own file. 4 words on his file. Never to be seen.
Yeah.
So they kick him out of Death Records. He goes to Swan's house. And there's a neat little tune that plays when he's walking up to the mansion. It's actually the only song that's not on the soundtrack. He walks into Swan's mansion and there's a big lineup of girls singing his music. There's all this god-awful singing. All my dreams are gone!
Yeah.
One girl stands out in particular, which is Phoenix. He sings a song with her. She says, well, I'll tell Swan that you're here. She runs right out screaming because, well, they don't really want to audition her voice. Winslow tries one last time to get in contact with Swan, and he knows he's auditioning women. Swan wants to have a little orgy, so there's all these women in this circular bed, and they're all like
super typical 70s circular bed.
Just hold me, just to touch me. I'm warming up my voice. And so he disguises himself as a woman.
Not a very good looking
Not a very
woman
good looking woman. He finally sees Swan. All 5 feet of him.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Swan, remember me? I'm Winslow Leach. Get this fag out of here.
Yeah.
He gets his henchmen, they beat the shit out of him, and they frame him, and they put drugs in his purse. He goes to jail for pushing. He goes to Sing Sing.
It's ironic, of course.
He's forced into a new program where they pull all your teeth and replace them with silver teeth. Winslow is standing there at this assembly line where they're putting together these little toys and shit.
Yeah.
He hears the fact that the Juicy Fruits will be opening up the Paradise with their new record, Faust.
Yeah.
And he flips, grabs his hammer and fucking beats the hell out of this guard, jumps in this box, and, and it's all sped up and everything. He escapes from jail and he goes to the record plant where they're pressing all these Faust records, which he wrote. He's got the dynamite. And the guard comes in, hey you, get away from that record press.
Yeah.
And he slips on this stray record on the ground, turns on the record press, and he gets his face pressed with this steaming hot record press. He stumbles out of there and rolls into the river.
It kind of shows a bit of a point of view from Winslow Leach. He scares the shit out of a couple of guards.
Badass looking Hell's Angels.
Oh, yeah. makes his way into a dressing room, notices this beaked helmet type thing, and he puts that on and becomes the Phantom of the Paradise. Rehearsals at the Paradise Theater, and it's the Juicy Fruits. They do a split screen. The Phantom lifts the trunk open and puts dynamite in, and closes it up, and he kind of whisks away. He takes off.
And the whole time you hear the tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, the bomb.
The bomb, yeah.
And it blows up. Swan is sitting in his balcony there watching the whole thing, and he doesn't even really react. I think it's almost like he's expecting something to happen.
Yeah.
He corners him.
Oh, Winslow. How nice to see you again.
Yeah. Basically, Swan talks Winslow into signing a contract. Ink means nothing to me, Winslow.
No sign.
Signs his name in his own blood.
I like how Swan, he doesn't even sign. He's got like this stamp that he uses on his blood. He's like,
now we're in business together.
Forever.
Basically, the deal is that Winslow gets all the power, all the control, but he's got to finish his cantata too. He lights this great big giant candle, and they kind of show the calendar days whisking away. They do auditions too, right? And they kind of have a lineup of girls. And then Phoenix comes. That's exactly who's going to be doing it. Who should be doing it.
Yeah.
He finally finishes his cantata. He falls asleep on the last, big chunk, Swan kind of comes in and just sort of delicately takes it away and says to his henchmen, seal it now. They've got brick and mortar there.
They fucking brick him up.
Yeah, they fucking brick up the room, and it just shows that Swan fucked him over again. He screws him over double again because he doesn't let Phoenix do it. He hires a guy named Beef to which is basically comedic relief on his back on the stage there and trying to get
those platform boots.
Yeah. So Winslow wakes up and he opens up the door and he sees Brick there, right? And he just fucking goes wild.
Beef is on stage performing Faust, and while the Phantom, he's got to stop it.
Yeah, basically.
Beef's performance there is super fun.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so cool. Imagine being in the crowd for a performance like that.
The band, they're cutting pieces of people off, arms and legs, and then they create Beef.
You gotta watch the rest of the movie if you haven't seen it to find out what the Phantom does with Swan.
Yeah, how he deals with him.
How he deals with Swan. And how Swan deals with Phoenix.
Yeah. He's such a prick.
Yeah. This movie is very personal to us, I think. First of all, we grew up watching it. I remember watching this movie when I was very young. And because it is a big Winnipeg cult movie.
Yeah, it made it big here.
In Winnipeg.
Right?
It bombed everywhere else in the world except for Winnipeg, where it became a big cult movie and it played for a super long time. In Winnipeg, there was Phantom Palooza. We went to the first Phantom Palooza. Garrett Graham was there and William Finley was there.
Yeah.
They did a Q&A. Other Phantom Paloozas since, where the guys are all playing the Juicy Fruits have been there and they sing the songs. Jessica Harper's come to a Phantom Palooza. And Paul Williams, too. There's cover bands in Winnipeg. They just do songs from this movie.
Yeah.
It's a big thing in our city, and it means a lot to us. The music is just...
It's fantastic.
So good. The tunes are amazing. They're not just catchy tunes, but it means something. It totally has to do with the movie.
Yep.
Faust, selling your soul. Soul. And it's not a musical. There's musical numbers in the movie, but it's not a musical. The story's not told through singing.
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier to watch.
Yeah. Commentary on the music industry and the contracts that you sign.
Yeah.
Your music may be great, but you may not be the most marketable person.
I think it might even shadow Paul Williams a little bit. Paul Williams is a fantastic songwriter, but...
He's this little 5-foot, weird-looking dude, right?
Exactly. So, there's a bit of his soul in this movie, too. It shadows that, I think.
And how, when you get famous, how it affects you. In Phoenix, she goes on stage and sings Old Souls, and people are loving it. They think it's the best thing ever. It changes her.
Yeah.
The drugs, the crowd is like a drug, and Swan is pushing the drugs to keep people going.
Exactly. Even though it takes place in 74, it could pretty much be done now.
A reason why the movie is aged well like that, because they play to the fact that music goes through cycles with retro, and how retro becomes cool.
Yeah.
Because they're doing the 50s type song in the 70s.
With the Juicy Fruits.
The Juicy Fruits, and like what's old becomes new again. And that kind of makes the movie kind of date itself well, because yeah, you do see that happen.
Exactly.
Even though I don't know if you'll ever see dudes walking around with antler belts.
Yeah, probably not.
What was that?
Swan. He's such a fucking wicked villain.
Yeah, I think Swan is one of the most underrated villains in cinema history.
He never ever makes a list of any kind. He's never talked about nothing, but he is such a devious son of a bitch in this movie.
Yep.
You fucking hate him so much.
The design of the Phantom was so iconic and so cool. Like the black leather and that awesome beaked thing. It's just so unique. Like, it's so random, but it works so well. And the voice box is so unique, where his vocal cords have been destroyed, but Swan fashions him this thing that he can speak in. But when he plugs into the recording console and starts singing, it's not Winslow Leach's voice. It's Paul Williams' voice.
Filters.
Yeah, filters. Doblies.
Yeah.
He's putting his mark on him, right?
Yep.
It's not you singing, it's me. I'm in control.
You just want to strangle him.
Everything behind him in that room is this famous modular synthesizer called the Tonto.
All right,
which you can go to a museum and see. It's on display in this museum. And the reveal of the Phantom, that part, when you see his face, as a kid, I loved the movie, but that part used to haunt me.
Yeah,
because he's pretty disfigured.
Yeah, he is, And I found it funny, though, that... Because, like, for all the audience knows, this is all just part of the show, right?
Well, it is.
Yeah, it's
it is,
And everybody's just kind of...
They're all partying.
Sorry, kind of dance. The security that Swan uses is great.
Yeah.
Because, it harks back to, like, the Rolling Stones, Altamont Speedway, right?
Yeah.
With the Hell's Angels, because Swan uses like these biker-looking dudes, too, right?
They're basically Hell's Angels. They're not Hell's Angels, but they're Hell's Angels.
Basically,
It's such an aesthetically pleasing movie. Like, it looks great. It's so colorful.
Yeah,
it's campy. Like, it's total camp, but it's camp that works very well. Yeah, so if you haven't seen Phantom of the Paradise and you're a fan of, Phantom of the Opera type movies, anything to do with the devil.
Oh, yeah, selling your soul, right?
Soul. Anything to do with music, if you like good rock and roll, if you're a fan of Rocky Horror Picture Show, please check it out. You'll have the tune stuck in your head.
Prepare to have your emotions torn left and right with this movie, I think.
And it definitely gets better with more viewings, because there's so much going on. You always notice something different happening in the background. There's so much love put into this movie, and it needs more love. So show it some love and check it out.